Morning inspired. Be informed. Let's interact only on the morning drive.
Make it a date with Martin Efanshuku, aka Meta, from Monday to Friday from 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. on the morning drive. 103.5
n'afọ na mmụọ nsọ Angelus
Mama Posebru Agwaptal Maria.
Owetri mesenike nke monso.
Ekene Maria Egyptel na Grace Osebru Anonyeli.
So guys, like, subscribe, and share, right? Thank you.
Oja Zingos Mwa forgive Jesus.
Maria Jason nke Chukwu. Rebara Ninja yo. Kita na manowai. Amen.
Nyaju Odibo Wani Ko Sebru wa.
Korere mkisiku.
Ekene Maria Egyptel na Grace Osebru Anonyeli. Idingos n'etiti gboro niile. Oja Zingos Mwa forgive Jesus.
Maria Jason nke Chukwu. Rebara Ninja yo. Kita na manowai. Amen.
Okwe melaru.
Owebile anyị.
Ekene Maria Egyptel na Grace Osebru Anonyeli. Idingos n'etiti gboro niile. Oja Zingos Mwa forgive Jesus.
Maria Jason nke Chukwu. Rebara Ninja yo. Kita na manowai. Amen.
Jọbara anyị ayọ ọnụ nke Chukwu dị asọ.
Anyị metụ n'aka nkwa nke Kristi.
Ayịyọ, anyị na-arịọ gị o Chukwu ka erinye Kraịst anyị n'ime obi anyị, ka anyị bụ ndị nje butere ozi ọma, wee mara iwere arụ Kristi nwanyị site n'afọ ya na obi ya, wee bata n'osite na mbilite n'ọnwụ ya site na Kristi dị mere anyị.
Amen.
Otito dịrị Nna na Nwa na Mmụọ Nsọ.
Eto dị n'izu na kịta na ebo niile n'ụwa ebebe. Amen.
Otito dịrị Nna na Nwa na Mmụọ Nsọ.
Eto dị n'izu na kịta na ebo niile n'ụwa ebebe. Amen.
Otito dịrị Nna na Nwa na Mmụọ Nsọ.
Eto dị n'izu na kịta na ebo niile n'ụwa ebebe. Amen.
Ka mkpụrụ obi ndị niile kwerenụ gara aga.
Site n'ekpere nke Chukwu ka ha zuru ike na
Ka
ndokwa.
mkpụrụ obi fa zuru ike na ndokwa.
Amen.
onye nwe anyị nọnyere ụnụ
Nọnyekwara mmụọ gị.
ka Chineke dị ike niile gọzie ụnụ Nna na Nwa na Mmụọ Nsọ.
Listen to news updates on Ebona, the 103.5 FM immediately after Angelus, 6 o'clock a.m. and the 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays. Stay tuned to be updated, to be informed. News updates, live reports. Ebona FM breaks the news with actualities.
I believe that if we are looking for a new Nigeria,
You can as well listen online via mixlr.com/GSFM.
Good morning and welcome to Abona, the 103.5 FM news update. Today, Tuesday, the 30th day of May 2023, and the time is 4 minutes past the hour of 6. Martin Efanshuku AKZ is my name. The headlines. Anambra children are highly talented, says Governor Soludo. The rebuilding process has begun. Governor Oti tells Abia people. Anambra Abga women leader sacked for supporting Labour Party in 2023 election. 2023 Northern presidency failed because Peter Obi left PDP. Okowa. Oborowore sworn in as 11th Delta State governor. Japanese prime minister sacks his son over party at official residence. Now, details. Anambra children are highly talented, says Governor Soludo. The Anambra State Governor, Professor Charles Soludo, has described Anambra children as highly talented. Governor stated this during the 2023 Children's Day celebration at Dr. Alex Ekweme in Oka, where he charged Anambra children to be good ambassadors of the state, Nigeria, and Africa by abstaining from all social vices. The theme for this year's event is the state of the Nigerian child today, proper parenting for value, reorientation, and national consciousness. The governor reminded the children that they are the owners of tomorrow, assuring them of fighting their cause through protection and provision of their basic needs such as health and education. My primary goal is to pray for our children to take charge and grow up to be responsible citizens who will help build our dream for Anambra, Nigeria, and Africa. On child marriage, hawking, child labor, and child abuse, it is enshrined in the child rights law. These laws must be enforced. Child abuse is an abominable act for an Anambra child. Cultism is a threat, and we have seen its negative effects. The majority of the children and youths involved in this all die when they are young, the governor stated. The rebuilding process has begun, Governor Oti tells Abia people. Abia State Governor Dr. Alex Oti on Monday pledged that his administration will embark on a rebuilding process for the overall good of the people. In his inaugural speech at the Umuahia Township Stadium, the governor assured the people that the state government will be transparent and accountable in carrying out its duties. The banker-turned politician also vowed to shun every form of corruption, saying gratification is forbidden in his government. The time for the rebuilding process has begun. Transparency, accountability, and public trust shall be at the center of everything we do, Oti said. We will run a responsible and honest government and lead by example. We will not tolerate any form of corruption or stealing of public property. Gratification and kickbacks are totally forbidden in this government. He also revealed plans by his administration to reform the civil service in the state, saying he will prioritize the workforce for efficiency and professionalism. According to the newly inaugurated governor, the Abia State Civil Service shall run differently under his administration. Oti explained that as part of the measures to unmask ghost workers in the civil service, the state government will embrace technology. The move, he stated, is to determine those who had been genuinely employed and those who are actively stealing from the public treasury. He added, merit shall take prominence, and only those who demonstrate requisite diligence in the discharge of their duties shall remain in the service. Technology will be used to support the civil service in the state. We propose to use technology to enable all Abia State employees, including myself, to work from anywhere to achieve operational efficiency and enhanced productivity. Anambra, Abga women leader sacked for supporting Labour Party in 2023 election. Anambra state government has allegedly sacked the women leader of a Benebe community in Oka North local government area, Mrs. Favour Nwora, for supporting the Labour Party, her candidates in the last election. Nwora was sacked as the women president and general of an Benebe Town Union Women Wing last month on the allegation that she appeared severally at Labour Party rallies and also wore their vests. The sack has sparked off protests in the community as women of the community have taken to the streets calling for her reinstatement. In protest stage in the community at the weekend, Mrs. Florence Nnatu, who led the protesters, accused some leaders of the community of having a hand in the crisis that has caused division among the women. We are calling on our community leaders, our husbands, who have a hand in this crisis that is dividing their wives, to remove their hands from it, Nnatu said. The sacked women's leader, Mrs. Favour Nwora, while speaking with journalists, admitted to have supported candidate of the Labour Party for House of Assembly position. She said, I supported Labour Party and the House of Assembly candidate, Onwuje, because he is my husband and always by my side. APGA candidate never called me even once. Talk more of coming to me as his woman PG, even though I am from the same ward with him. I remain an APGA member and I worked for APGA and Soludo during the 2021 governorship elections. I couldn't sleep because I know what I did for APGA and Soludo. I used my money, my products, my strength, and time for my party APGA to make sure Soludo won. I visited all the wards in Okanot to make sure women votes count. Newsmen gathered that a new women leader, Mrs. Josephine Okafor, has been appointed in place of Mora by the Anambra State Commissioner for Women Affairs, Mrs. Ifi Obinabo. 2023 Northern presidency failed because Peter Obi left PDP, Okowa. The outgoing Delta State governor and the 2023 vice presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party PDP, Ifeanyi Okowa, has stated that a Northerner could have succeeded President Muhammadu Buhari if Peter Obi didn't leave the PDP. According to Okowa, the PDP had analyzed and concluded on how to present a Northern candidate with a Southern running mate as the best way to counter the All Progressives Congress APC from getting massive block votes in the 2023 elections. The party threw its presidential ticket open with a former Vice President Atiku Abubakar eventually emerging as the PDP candidate. However, the Delta State governor said the decision of Obi to join the race for the ticket threw up Southeast and religious sentiments, and his eventual decision to dump the party for the Labour Party affected the votes of the PDP. He made the submission during a chat with journalists on Sunday in Asaba. According to Okowa, the Northern presidency would have succeeded if Obi didn't leave the PDP. I belong to the PDP, and for me as a person, and for the majority of the people in the PDP, they believe that our pathway to victory was to have a Northern candidate and a Southern vice, he said. Why? Because we are not a majority. The only thing that turned our reasoning out was when Obi came out from the southeast, and there were a lot of feelings that came in among the Christians. So it ate very deep into our votes, and that is what led to the loss of elections, Okowa added. Oborowori is sworn in as 11th Delta State Governor. Former Speaker of the Delta State House of Assembly, Sheriff Oborowori, on Monday at the Stephen Keshi Stadium, Asaba, took the oath of office as 11th Governor of Delta State. The Chief Judge of Delta State, Justice Tessie Dyer, administered the oath to the new governor and his deputy, Monday Onyeme. In his speech, Oborowori promised to move the state to greater heights through his More Agenda program and others. Governor Borowori also promised to provide empowerment programs for women in the state. I accept with humility the responsibility which the good people of Delta State have bestowed on me to serve Delta State, he added. Meanwhile, former Governor Ifeanyi Okowa has urged Oborowori and his deputy to look up to God for guidance and direction through their tenure in office. Okowa, who spoke at the inauguration ceremony of Oborowori and Onyeme, said the governor will be able to surpass his achievements in the last 8 years in office if he looks up to God. The Lord is on the throne, and his mercies and grace are all sufficient. It will be well with you throughout your tenure, he said. Now we move over to the foreign scene. Japanese Prime Minister sacks his son over party at official residence. The son of Fumio Kishida, the Japanese Prime Minister, will resign as his aide after using his father's official residence for a private gathering. The party was exposed in magazine photos that showed Shotaro Kishida pretending to hold a news conference at the podium where the Prime Minister usually stands, triggering public outrage. Mr. Kishida told reporters that his son will step down as his secretary from Thursday, saying the change was due to inappropriate behavior at the official residence. His behavior at a public space was inappropriate as someone who is in an official position as political aide have decided to replace him for accountability, Mr. Kishida said. Mr. Kishida acknowledged that he had briefly greeted the guest who said he did not stay at the dinner party. He said he severely reprimanded his son for the party but has failed to quell ongoing criticisms from opposition lawmakers and public outrage which have pushed down his support ratings. Shiji Osaka, a senior lawmaker with Japanese largest opposition party, the Constitutional Democratic Party of Japan, said the dismissal shall have come earlier. According to Kodo News Agency, this is too late. I suspect Mr. Kishida appointed someone who is not capable of being the Prime Minister's aide to the post, Mr. Osaka was quoted as saying. The revelations come at an inopportune time for Mr. Kishida, who had gained a boost in popularity with the recent G7 summit in Hiroshima. It was not the first time Mr. Kishida's son had come under fire for making use of his official position for private activities. He was reprimanded for using embassy cars for private sightseeing in Britain and Paris, and for buying souvenirs for cabinet members at luxury department store in London when he accompanied his father on trips. This is where we draw the curtain on news update on Ebon at the 103.5 FM. But before we leave, a quick look at the headlines. Anambra children are highly talented, says Governor Soludo. The rebuilding process has begun. Governor Oti tells Abia people. Anambra Apga women leader sacked for supporting Labour Party in 2023 election. 2023 Northern presidency failed because Peter Obi left PDP. Okowa. Oborowore is sworn in as 11th Delta State Governor. Japanese Prime Minister sacks his son over party at official residence. You just listened to news update on Ebon at the 103.5 FM news, produced and read by Martin Ifeanyi Ikezie. Thank you for listening to Ebon at the 103.5 FM news update. Once again, good morning.
Listen to news updates on Ebona, the 103.5 FM immediately after Angeles, 6 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays. Stay tuned to be updated, to be informed. News updates, live reports. Ebona FM breaks the news with actualities.
I believe that if we are looking for a new Nigeria,
You can as well listen online via mixlr.com/GistFM. How best can we talk about the challenges we are having on our streets, our community, our society in general? Street report. If we do not address these challenges on Ebona FM, who will? As the happenings around us get as complicated as they can be.
Our government, whatever.
Street Report is here to make sense of it all. Street Report is causing social change across your streets, in your community. Street Report is here with hardcore journalism to get to the roots of our problem. Why don't you join me, Martin Ifeanyi number the boss, every Friday, 4:30 p.m. on Ebona 103.5 FM as Street Report unfolds in your face. On Martin Ebona 24/7, 24/7.
Ladies and gentlemen, tighten your seatbelt as we take you on this smooth ride. Let's go! It's the morning drive on 103.5 Ebona DFM, keeping your morning engaging as we take you through the smoothest ride on radio
From 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
Getting your morning inspired, be informed. Let's interact only on the morning drive.
Make it a date with Martin Ifeanyi, aka Meta, from Monday to Friday from 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
On the morning drive.
103.5 Ebona
So guys, like, subscribe, and share.